I'm recording you to the cloud here, so you're gonna be live.
No. Anyway, I am Cloke. I'm the executive director for the Camdenton Chamber of Commerce. Completely changing my PowerPoint. I'm just gonna hand the reins over to Trish since I'm my predecessor here. I think you.
We don't
Well,
have.
if you work for the chamber, you have. So I've been in this role for almost 3 years now with the Camdenton Area Chamber. Before that, I worked as the executive director for the Lake Area Chamber. So I did the same position, just a different territory of the lake, serving Osage Beach and Lake Ozark. But I live in Camdenton, so it made sense to make the move over. And absolutely love being in more of a smaller town, being able to be involved in the various events that our chamber puts on, and getting to know all the businesses that I had already supported personally and now behind the scenes. So many of you I'm aware of. So wait. Oh, they got it. That you were recording. Sorry, guys. Okay, let's see if that works now. There we go. Okay. Chamber. I'm not going to read this verbatim, but basically, for those that aren't aware, Chamber of Commerce is basically made up of business. We are a membership-driven organization. So first and foremost, we represent the businesses that invest in our organization, and it was really created more or less for advocacy. You know, business owners need to focus on running their businesses, but a lot of occasions, you know, maybe it's a decision that our elected officials are making, or maybe it's just opportunities that are available to the community. You need a larger voice, and that's where the chamber comes in. So our mission is to be the motivating force in coordinating, leading, and promoting business development, economic diversity, and tourism, while also enhancing quality of life and natural resources through community development, recognition, and pride. That kind of covers everything, but I'm going to dive into specifically those talking points. And if you don't know where our office is located, we're really just right down the road. I would say past Fair Market, before Casey's gas station on the right-hand side. And so about our chamber. So as I mentioned, we're a membership-driven organization. About 1/3 of our income is generated from membership dues. We have various tiered structures. So some of our larger community stakeholders invest a little bit more than just your average small town business. And we have different benefits that fit to those tiers properly. We are currently at 342 members. We go back, that third income. So the rest of the supplemental income that we create is based on our events, as well as our services and sponsorships that we offer. We do have 15 board members. I've got 15 bosses. They can each serve 2 3-year terms, and after they have fulfilled those 6 years, they have to at least step off for 1 year. And if they like it so much, they eventually come back. Which we have several incoming new board members later this fall that have taken that 1-year break, but they missed us. They want to come back, so love it. We do have officers, a president, and a vice president, as well as a treasurer. That are elected by our board every year. And this is currently our makeup of our board of directors. Ashley Swagel with American National Insurance is our president, Amanda Hayes with Hayes Construction is our vice president, and then Natalie Couch with Lake Area Industries is our treasurer. I serve as the director. I also serve as a non-voting member, and I'm their secretary. The rest of the board is made up of various industries. That is one thing with our membership. We have a diverse industry representation, so we do our best to fill this board with those various industries. So when we are making decisions, it's not just tunnel vision, you know, that we're thinking of all the different business sectors that represent our community. And we will say that we do have a vacancy. For those of you that may have known Mitch Shields, he has stepped down from Lake Regional Health and then joined another employer. So we're working on getting them as a new member of the chamber. But to hold that board seat, you must be with a business that has at least a 1-year membership with the chamber. So we'll hope to see Mitch back there in about a year. So the chamber is made up of 2 paid staff persons, myself, as well as Dorothy Ehrlich. She is our administrative assistant and communications assistant. That's us having fun at one of our socials. Dale, we do a traditional quarterly social over at the fishing company in the summer. And always have a great time. And Dale, obviously, if you've been to the fish, you know that he'll drag anybody up on stage. So we have lots of committees. So when I hear individuals, you know, our members that want to get more engaged, obviously networking, I'm always pushing networking, but they think that just by going to a social is the only opportunity for networking. And I always say you can build much better relationships by getting your hands dirty, putting in some sweat equity, and you could do so by getting involved in a specific committee. So whether it's event planning you have interest in, you know, we do have the Christmas on the Square event that we put on, the Dogwood Festival, the air show, or maybe it's economic development you have more interest in. We've got a committee that is right for anybody pretty much, or we'll make one. This is one big item, you know. Unfortunately, but fortunately, you know, fortunately the chamber, we do a great job producing these events, but unfortunately, not a lot of people realize it's our chamber that's doing it. They think it's the city or the county that puts it on. But all of these events that you see up on the screen are produced as a result of the Camdenton Chamber and their committee members that volunteer their time and the sponsors that financially support it. So networking, I mentioned that very slightly. You know, not only can you attend our quarterly networking social, but ribbon cuttings. That's another big item. People I don't think realize the value of attending those. You know, it gets your foot in the door, or maybe it's a new business that we're celebrating. Maybe they could put a face and a business to your face. But it's also, you know, you get to the camaraderie of that celebration. You're networking with your other fellow business peers. So if you have a chance to attend everything, you don't even have to be a chamber member to come and attend. I encourage you to do so. So we've got a lot coming up, and I'll go over that here shortly. So areas of concentration. I mean, really, I laugh at this slide. I almost deleted it, but I'm like, I mean, we really are everywhere. If we're not event planning, which by the way, we always sitting back here, but there's always an event we're working on, at least one. But it is about community enhancement. I sit on various boards that make decisions ultimately on area beautification, on infrastructure needs and things of that nature. Business retention. I love having good relationships with our members, and you know, usually when I do a member visit, it's not just, you know, hey, everything's looking great, here's what the chamber's doing. It's really understanding like what are their current challenges, what are you facing, what do I need to be communicating on behalf of your industry to those other people that I sit at those various tables and boards. You know, they need to hear from the business sector. So I remind them that, you know, hey, the good, the bad, and the ugly, tell me it all. So I mentioned that organizational involvement. So there are lots of different tables that I have a seat at. I currently serve as the president for the Lake of the Ozarks Regional Economic Development Council. That is an organization that serves Camden, Miller, and Morgan County. And currently, we've been a resource provider. We are actually right in the middle, and I heard that you need October for there. So you may come back in October, and we're going to and educate you all on what we're looking to do, because we really are transitioning that organization to represent our community better in marketing our region outside of this area, so nationally as well as internationally, for new business, new technology, and so forth. So I'll circle back to that maybe in October. I'll find one of those dates. Council of Local Governments is another similar board that it's more of the public sector. I sit around and serves Miller, Morgan, Camden, as well as the Cloke County. And folks that are around that table are traditionally your commissioners, your mayors, city administrators, and then of course the chambers, all in the other various communities. And we learn about different grant funding opportunities that are available. Primarily the cities and the counties work with the council to apply for those grants, but we as the chambers, the reason we sit at that table is to make sure that those elected officials understand the needs within their community. So if there's a grant, and oh no, we don't need sidewalks. We need sidewalks. So that's where we kind of speak up a little bit to help reiterate the needs. I'm a board member of the Camden County Ag and Youth Enrichment Council. It's a newer organization we formed about 1.5 years ago. We're actually the folks behind the scenes working on bringing the Camden County Fairgrounds back to our area. We're right in the middle of a feasibility study. In fact, some of you in the room may taken a call from Opportunity Funding. It's a third-party company that we've hired to do that feasibility study. They're doing stakeholder surveys right now, and hopefully by the end of October, we'll have a bunch of data that says, yes, our vision is attainable, both financially as well as supportively by our community. So fingers crossed on that. Water Safety Council. That's an organization that's been around for a while that does various projects, but most specifically like this last year, some of our projects we've worked on is we've built life jacket loader stations at several of the public beaches. The ones in the state park, they now have a life jacket station where we fill it with various size life jackets, because believe it or not, there's parents out there that bring their kids to the water that maybe aren't the best swimmers and they have no flotation devices, and it's scary. We're not only doing it at the state park facilities, but we're also partnering with like Captain Ron's, Frankie and Louie's, all of those restaurants that have those beach areas that there is swimming taking place. Our goal is to have a life jacket loader station at each of those facilities. So, let's see here. LEPC, that's the Camdenton County, and of course, it totally left it. Emergency planning. That's all I can remember. The EP is, but basically I'm there representing the business sector. Believe it or not, if a tanker, an oil tanker spills on the roadways, there's a lot of people behind the scenes that do a lot of preparation, notification. So the chamber has that seat just to help get the communication out to the business, to the community. And then lastly, the school. You know, we understand there needs to be a direct tie from our employers as well as our educators. You know, we want to keep or retain or possibly recruit, you know, young professionals. And we want our kids, even after they graduate, they may go off for college. We want them to know that there's going to be jobs for them when they come back. We want them to come back. So we've got a close relationship. I sit on various boards for the school district as an advisor and ensuring that those lines of communication between the employers and the educators are completely open, so they understand the needs. They're developing curriculum to basically feed that workforce.
I don't see vice president of Rotary.
No, and actually, yeah, no. Unfortunately, I will say I'm a yes man. I'm getting better. I think that I'm not. I'm really not. But I actually took off 2 other logos just yesterday because I am slowly had to step away from a few things because my buckets were not. I like to fill my buckets and not half fill them. So it was getting to that point. So, but again, I would love to come for future opportunities to present and keep you up to date on.
You can just practice.
There you go.
Okay,
There we go. Back in the days when I worked with First National Manufacturers, I worked with the group together. I was trying to get Mellon, but it was 2 years ago. Happy to see Grant still involved. That's fantastic. All right, diving into from the business side. How am I on time, by the way? Okay, forever. So businesses, you know, especially a new business, or why do I join the chamber? You know, these are kind of those main bullet points, talking points that I like to address with them. You know, that we give them exposure. By supporting the chamber, they are supporting the community, and the advocacy I think is huge. I always touch on that one, usually first and foremost. Retaining jobs and investment into our region, membership credibility. You know, I know others that will specifically hire a company because they are invested in their local chamber. And then the business education resources. We know technology changes. Oh gosh, even Facebook changes. And so we partner with the Small Business Development Center on offering workshops to keep business employers on top of things as things progress. You know, we can't stand today. Even QuickBooks, when they went from desktop to online, it's completely different. So we have classes for that. This one's kind of hard to see, but really this ties in. This is more of the bullet points, specifically where they get that advocacy, the marketing, development, networking, but I'm not going to revolve all of that. Oh my goodness, I didn't think about how small this is going to be. So this is what we've got coming up. And honestly, I'm not going to go. So yeah, we've done.
Seriously, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have a lot happening, a lot of ribbon cutting, We do have a breakfast meeting that we host every quarter. It's a joint chamber. And when you see those joint chamber titles, what that means is we partner with the Lake area and the Lake West Chamber on various events. We do a lot of collaboration, even though we are separate entities. And yes, we collaborate with competitors. Yeah, yes, we are. But it's really, we share a lot of membership too, and we like to collaborate so we can provide opportunities for our different communities to inter-network, because we know that happens naturally anyway, both professionally and personally. And so we have a joint chamber exhibition coming up October 6th. That particular topic, it is talking about victims among us. We'll actually have a panel of presenters from the Lake Ozarks Documented Trafficking Coalition. COMC will be addressing mental health, and CDB talking about victim abuse, and it's not just personally, like we want our panel to educate our community on like science and how to recognize and also understanding the support that's available. And so it'll be not so sunshine and rainbows, but it'll be great. And so please help us share of that upcoming breakfast, and we'd love to see a strong attendance from our community. Let's see here. Ribbon cutting. Yeah, there's lots. Leads group. That's what I really wanted to hit on too. That's a newer program. I think it was launched about 2.5 years ago. It's a very similar concept to what is affiliated BNI, Business Networking International. But our chamber recognized, in fact, our board, some of our board members were members of that organization. They recognize not only is it a large financial commitment, but a time commitment too. If you're a member of those chapters, you have to attend weekly or provide a substitute. You're spending thousands of dollars a year now to be a member. So with having close to 400 businesses, we're like, wow, let's form some leads groups. And so they run, one of them runs monthly, the other one runs twice a month, because they felt once a month just wasn't enough. They didn't want to go to that weekly. And it's at no additional cost to our members. So it is something we provide free as a membership benefit. And we do allow one person per industry in those groups. Ron's a member of our group 1, right? I believe, yeah, group 1. And so yeah, so if you have interest in networking, let me know. We'd love to have you come visit a chapter, or if your industry is available to both, I would encourage people to check them both out. There's different personalities of both, lots of fun. Let's see here. Our annual dinner is in November. If you are a member of ours and you get our communications, you'll see invitations, flyers for that particular event. We do like to have fun and speed it up. So this year is a Roaring 20 speaking. And there will even be mouse racing. I lost control of that committee. I just gonna say, lost control of that, but it's a lot of fun. So lots of fun flapper tires and who knows what, but it'll be a lot of great times. Good food. It's held at the exchange venue. They do such a fantastic job, and it's right here downtown Camdenton. We've even got some 1920s vehicles for like photo props kind of thing. It's a lot of fun. So make sure you put that on your calendar. It's a Thursday evening, November 16th from 5 to 8. We do a small business portion in that meeting. We will be electing our incoming 5 board members, as well as we've got some bylaw updates. And so that'll be the time and place that we officially approve the new bylaw revisions. And then the last thing on there, December 1st and 2nd, Christmas on the Square. That event has grown. It used to be just a Saturday event full of free activities offered to all the families, hot dogs, ham dinner giveaways, and ornament making, cookie decorating. We've extended it into that Friday evening. This all takes place downtown at the courthouse, Camdenton Courthouse lawn. Friday evening is the tree lighting ceremony, and each year it continues to grow. We've got a really passionate committee with that. In fact, we've already started meeting, and it was weird to talk Christmas in August, and I felt like the Grinch. But they knew, like, let me get past a few more minutes, and then I'll put my Christmas hat on. But Friday evening, the tree lighting ceremony will not only include the lighting the tree, but we've got some vendors that will be coming out, some food trucks. We have a bell choir. We just confirmed. I don't remember what it was called. So think Cirque du Soleil, you know, the ribbon performers that twirl on it. Okay, that's so we have some new residents to the community. She's been a group and actually an award.
Gene does that too, so.
Yeah, there we go. Love it. Well, the spotlight right on you for that one. That streets, showing athletics, you know, that cheer team has won some phenomenal nationally accredited awards. So they're gonna be showcasing their talent Friday evening as well. So we'll have a whole schedule rolling out for both Friday and Saturday. So make sure you put that on your calendar too, because I know there's a lot happening around the holidays.
Yeah, I actually have leads group next Tuesday.
We do, next Tuesday and Wednesday.
Anyone's interested in coming as a guest.
Absolutely.
8 o'clock.
You got it.
It used to be 7:51 or something.
I moved it to 8 because nobody was showing up till 8. And I mixed it. Yeah, and Firefly Coffee, if you haven't already tried their product, they're a wholesale distributor. They also sell coffee at their shop too, but they have some amazing coffee. And so each month we have a new flavor that we showcase at the boardroom. And so yeah, we'll have Firefly Coffee ready for us. Come out and join us next Tuesday or Wednesday or both, 8 o'clock. How to stay up to date. So a lot of people are like, how do we keep up on what's happening, what's going on? So if you go to our website, camdentonchamber.com, that purple button right in the top right hand corner, sign up now. Click that, all it asks is your first name and an email, and you'll start getting our communications. And we don't overwhelm your inbox. It will say consecutively every Thursday at 10 a.m. Our weekly e-blast goes out, and that particular e-blast, this is what it kind of looks like. It highlights our new members. It also highlights upcoming chamber activities like that big blue box we were looking at. Talks about business support. So maybe that's one of those workshops are coming up or seminars. It has that highlighted in there. And then we have a lot of nonprofit organizations that invest in our chamber. And so this allows them an outlet to promote their upcoming fundraising activities. So I thought about your event as well. Send it our way. We'll be happy to include that in the community events happening. If we don't already, we may already have it in there, honestly. I can't remember. There's several. There's a lot happening in the fall. In fact, you do kind of have to scroll with this week's email. There's a lot to it. Lastly, another place that you can find out what's going on is on our Facebook. We do have a Facebook page, and all of our various events, like our ribbon cuttings, are even promoted and create a Facebook event. So you can even, if you plan to attend, acknowledge that you're going. That tells your friends and peers that you're attending that event, and may encourage them to do the same. Hey, that's it. Woo!
So as you may remember, as an honorarium for being here, Rotary was making 10 donations for a